Jenefeness. How are you? Thanks for being here. How are things in your world?
I am excellent. I had to go put on my hat.
I know, right?
He talked about the shoe game being so important back in the day, and now you're on Zoom all day, so you got to put a hat on. Like
that is right. That is right.
But
good on you, but I like your hair there too, and I like what you have in the back. Let your faith be bigger than your fear.
Yes, that's the message. That's the message today, because we are living in uncertainty, right? And folks are really, really, really spooked, right? There's so much going on. There's so much uncertainty. It's changing every day. And it's like, people are just out here not knowing what to do. So that's my message every day, all day. This right here in my house.
I love it. Why don't you give us a brief overview of who you are, Jenefeness, and then tell us a bit about ASBDC, why it's so important. Before you do that, I want to tell you something. This is just a secret now. The Florida ASBDC told me 2 years ago that they were the best. They said I was at a big event that they had, and they said to let all the other ASBDCs know they are the best. Is that correct, or would it be Washington? I'm just curious.
You know what? Florida's the best. Okay. Washington is the best. I have a cousin. We have like a million cousins, right? So every time she see one of us, she say, "You my favorite." So we all the best. So I am in no competition with no SBDC. I think we are all the best. SBDC has been around for over 40 years. Wow. I worked at the Connecticut Small Business Development Center for a few years. I lived in Ohio, and I worked with the Columbus SBDC for a couple years. And now I've been out here in Washington working for the Washington Small Business Development Center. I love, as an entrepreneur, as a business advisor, as a community resource partner, I constantly send people to the SBDC. So I want to take this hat off because I want y'all to see my pretty face. But But the SBDC, what we do, we provide no-cost business advising to small business owners. We help them start up. We help them grow their business, thrive, sell a business. So any aspect or any phase of business we can help with. We have certified business advisors. What that means is we've gone through certification and actually passed that certification to become business advisors. We have expertise in going global, turning your technology into an actual product and getting money from it, like Carol and Trisha was talking about, that revenue, right? So we have real strategic plans that can help folks go from, I have a good idea. I don't know if this can really be monetized, to, I've done well in this business and I'm ready to sell. Or I need access to capital. So we help any phase of business. And I apologize because I am at home and my partner is on the phone.
Hey, that's okay. It's all good. No problem at all. We're rolling, right? This is how we hustle and how we do it. So the background, for all I know, you're a big NBC or ABC studio.
Right. So one of the things I want to say for the Washington Small Business Center, we helped over 2,100 small businesses last year in 2019. Now those numbers are going to be astronomical this year, of course, with COVID-19. But we helped them gain more than $110 million of access to capital. Wow. And that's the hugest piece and the hugest thing that I think we do. We also have market research. Like the SBDC is amazing. All of them. Every single one of them. And there's thousands of them. Thousands of them.
We got about 9-10 more minutes to go. So listen, Jason said this is live TV, and you're getting a lot of shout out. SBC made a huge business of my difference. Shout out to Arizona SBDC, New Jersey SBDC. The whole family's out here rooting for Jenefeness. So I know business resiliency is a big, important part of what you do, what you talk about, SBDC, and probably you personally. Feel free to take 2 or 3 minutes, unpack that. What is business resiliency? Why is it important? And probably more importantly, can you give us 2 or 3 tips how we do it? What's that all about?
Yeah, absolutely. So resiliency is the difference between Forelli Pizza and Studio Pie. So we have Forelli Pizza, who's in downtown Tacoma, and we have Studio Pie that was in downtown Seattle. Studio Pie is no longer, right? So when COVID hit, we had these government mandates, right? Everything was closed down. People forward customer facing businesses, they had to just kind of figure it out. And so many folks didn't have a resiliency plan. They didn't have a plan that helped them to understand, okay, when things hit, whether it's COVID-19, whether it's weather related or whatever those things are, whatever the risks are. So a resiliency plan is just that difference in helping your business survive when things do happen. So resiliency planning is the development and execution of an actual plan. And with the America's SBDC, anybody, again, I heard somebody say these resources are amazing. We have some more resources. So we have a resiliency planning guide that's available for free. You can go to americassbdc.org/protect protect your business. And we'll type that in. You'll make sure they get those resources. But that's what we do. We help folks to have a plan so that when things happen, whether it's a disruption in your business because of man-made stuff or, non-man-made stuff, helping your business grow and thrive when things happen. So.
Wow, that is powerful. And then let me ask, what is the difference then, Jenefeness, of the things that you're seeing of those who are planning and those who don't plan? Take a look at my business. I own the pizza company, let's say. I don't want to be out of business. I'm not stupid. I'm a smart guy. But when disaster comes, I don't recover as fast as others. Is there a mindset difference? Is it just the roll of the dice humans? Are any commonalities that you can see? So as we're thinking like, oh boy, I want to be on the right side of something when problems happen. What do we do?
Thank you for asking that. And that's a really good question because I talk to business owners every day, all day, probably more so now. And one of the things that I'll say the commonality is they have a drive and a will because, all of us have business acumen. Not all of us. Let me take that back. A lot of us have business acumen, right? But that's not enough. It's not enough in times like this. You got to be able to pivot. You got to be able to swivel on your toes, when things are happening. Because I remember when COVID first hit, we were getting information as the SBDC straight from the SBA. That stuff was changing by the minute. So if you're not connected to the resources, to the folks that are giving you information and also being willing and able to switch it up. I had business saying, I don't want to do that. What do you mean you don't want to do that? You got to do it. Yes. Being able to pivot quickly, on the drop of a dime as things are changing is super duper important. I think that's a skill that some businesses that are failing don't have, right? So, and also staying connected to the resource. Right. So if there are resources out there to help you, you've given us so many today. Right. But if there are resources out here, folks, stay connected to those resources. As information is changing, you got to be communicating and making sure that all your critical functions are being maintained.
Yes.
So that's one thing I would say.
No, that is important. I love that. It's so important. Another thing for you, when I look over here, I'm just looking, I got so many questions for you, Jenefeness, and people are putting kudos to SBDC all over there. I'm curious, is it too late, Jenefeness? I'm curious, for many of us, COVID, and I guess like 9/11, like other big moments in time, we're never going to forget, middle of March, particular date, give or take. Is it too late for Jenny, who has her nail salon? Is it too late for Alberto, who has a copy? If he wasn't ready, are there things they can do now, even though they're struggling with PPP, EIDL, as in the EIDL, all these things we're navigating and going through? And again, up next, I'm so excited for our three panelists who are coming up. We got Kayla, we got Lauren, we got Vikram. It's going to be amazing. So stay tuned for that. But is it too late, Jenefeness?
It's never too late.
Okay.
And that's what I'm telling folks too. They're like, wait, I'm only receiving 20% of my revenue for the last 4 months. Okay, let's see what we need to do to switch it up to make sure that you're getting additional revenues. Let's look at different markets. Let's look at ways that you can market differently. I had a client, and I could just give you a zillion success stories. Just got off the phone with one of them today. This is an older lady. She's like 68 or 69. So she was not technologically savvy. She has an amazing vegan restaurant. Locally, everybody knows about this spot. She didn't have social media. She didn't have a way to order. You had to go in. You couldn't call. And she was kind of hesitant to change it up, to switch it up. Well, now she's making more money now, having her restaurant closed just by people coming in and ordering online. She's like, I never knew. I'm like, just think, But I think the biggest thing is to understand this too shall pass. Just like 9/11, just like 2008, this will pass. We will get to a place where it's a new normal and we can do things differently and better. Just have that faith, right? Have that faith that we can get there, and it's never too late.
You're right. That's true. And I think to those who have move back to their parents' home, to those who've had to close the business completely, I would even say, and correct me if I'm wrong, that it's not too late for you because, again, it's sad what happened. As we talked in previous panels, cry, hold yourself, rock in the closet for a few minutes. You got to move forward.
You got to move forward.
Totally brand new,
you live and you learn. They didn't lose. Guess what? You're saving money by moving back to your parents' house. You learned the lesson, and now that's going to help you move forward, period. Yeah. So just use that information and keep moving. That's what I got to say.
No, that is powerful. That is powerful. As you've talked to clients, we got about 2 or 3 more minutes, Jenefeness, Tucker. And again, I am so grateful. Thanks for being here. Certified Business Consultant from the Washington SBDC. You can see the link to America's SBDC there. And again, find Jenefeness all over online. But I'm curious, what's the 1 or 2 things that you've learned? I'm curious, in the last several months. You can talk about your years of experience if you want them to, but anything comes to mind like, Ramon, here's what I've always heard. Here's a recurring theme. Anything that repeats that we can learn from that nugget in the next 1 or 2 minutes we have together?
So let me tell you a little bit about me. I am a reservist for FEMA, for the Department of Homeland Security. So I've been doing that as a private sector specialist since 2011. So I've been on major disasters, maybe 17 over the course of my career, and as a private sector specialist and a certified business advisor. So I speak with business owners every day, all day. The biggest thing that I've learned, because I hear people say, well, I didn't know, or I didn't have access, or I was never exposed to this or that. Communicate, communicate, communicate. I am telling you, I seek out information everywhere. I take 3-mile walks every morning. And this morning, I was reading an economic report. I want to know what's going on. Which industries are they saying are going to survive? Which industries are hurting the worst? So communicate, ask questions. If you don't know, I heard them talking earlier about, I don't want to learn, all this finance and accounting. So what? You don't have to learn it all, but ask questions so that you at least have an understanding. And that's what smart people do. Smart people ask questions. So communicate, communicate, communicate. I think that's the biggest thing. People come and they say, well, I didn't know about this or that. Well, did you ask? If you didn't ask, then you can't blame anybody but yourself. So ask questions. Get in contact with America's SBDC. There are over 1,000 SBDCs around this country. Everywhere you are, there's an SBDC. So look out for an SBDC advisor. We are knowledgeable, and that's what we do. We help entrepreneurs and businesses grow and thrive.
Knowledgeable and tough.
I my hat back on.
I love it. Got you. We should have some. I wish next time we're gonna have some, walkout music or something. But listen. Thank you. I know time is so precious, and I'm grateful to you, to other panelists who've been here, who are coming on. Thank you for your time, and you represent ASBDC so well.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for sharing, and I'll quote that. Let your faith be bigger than your fear. Definitely on that. Thanks, Jenefeness.
You're welcome.
Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.